Where are we going up tonight?
Kenosha, Wisconsin. This isn't the first time we've swam in these waters.
What happened last time we were here?
Well, we had a lot of really good beer and they were so nice. Let us go in the basement and do a bunch of stuff. And then I forgot to tip them. So this is redemption. And now.
Nick got cut.
Yeah, what the F?
Drink to that?
Yeah.
What does it feel like?
I feel a little upset because I already knew that this Tom Guest Scotty Graham thing was happening. Didn't know anything about Mitch Finn.
Curveball.
Yeah, that's definitely, could probably come with a more figurative term for that. We already had Zach Geiger. Adding Henry and O'Mara would be +5. And so I didn't know if there was room for them. I messaged Billy that night, I think, saying, hey, how'd the call go? He messaged me that they were 90% in, it was a done deal. And then he's like, yeah, I got some bad news. There's no roster spot for you. And so earlier the year, there was a rumor going around that Billy Wing was quitting Dye to join Infamous. And I had heard that more than once. And so I hit up Billy about it. And so he made it sound like it was happening and not to say anything and like where to come from. And I was like, dude, this is a big deal. So my gut reaction to Billy saying that was like, oh, you're messing with me. Like, you know, the time you were quitting Dye for Infamous. And he's like, no, there's not a spot for you on the team. And I was like, why? And I was given that reason that I don't play enough paintball on the off weekends. And that means I'm not hungry enough to strive to get better.
Why do you have a Dye hat on?
Well, I'm still employed by Dye Precision.
Does that mean that Nick is going to a Dye team?
We're waiting to see what happens. I'm not officially on any team. I've talked to Virgil from Blast Camp about coaching that team.
Does it actually feel kind of good to be wanted and desired by teams? Like now that you are on the free agency market?
I'm pissed about it. That's one of the things I sent to Chris. Like, I really believed in the Ironmen and that team and that organization. And that's what's bittersweet about the entire thing in my career with the team is that we started off hot. And then COVID happened, then drama happened, and some bullshit happened with people not wanting to play. A-Rod, backing out and playing with Impact, to losing Todd as a coach. He joins Heat, to then Nikki stepping up and being the coach and crushing it, evolving through that to the second year. Shane comes in and is assisting. We went to the finals. We took a second place, and then to come into this last year, only winning 3 matches in the entire season. So things went to shit quick. It was a lot to talk about right there.
Jesus fucking Christ, guy, take a drink.
You guys need to finish your beers.
If you're ever in Kenosha, Wisconsin, you need to come to this brewery. They were giving us free beer. Starting to kick in.
Hey, what team should Nick Slowiak go to?
Dynasty? Dude, Dynasty had their chance. When you get your own custom built marker, I have a sweet design for a marker that my good friend Tyler Lederer designed for me, a friend from high school. Thoughts on Ben Sloffer? Ben, he's tried to play with Dynasty a few times. I think he just needs to not give a thing, just play paintball. Ben's an animal? Yeah, he can be. I see Ben as more like a gopher. So not really a vicious beast. Gophers on spot on. That's funny. Do you have to play for Dye's Wonders team? Yeah, I really have to, but it'd be nice because you need to choose Dye. Oh my gosh, you guys' questions are so fast. What is your favorite cut of meat? We talked about this earlier. Tri-tip and ribeye. Why are you outside in the cold? Because it's not cold here. If we had Maddie Marshall or Ryan Wingspan on here, they'd be like, it's so cold. It's not cold. Breath clearly visible. Well, it's all relative. Paradox. So many cameras. I look like the son of the drummer of Fleetwood Mac. Ragtag Army PB says hello, Dylan.
Hey, fuck yeah, Ragtag.
Any Dye M4 news? Yes, it won't be called the M4, but there's always a new gun coming.
Stephen O'Mara coaches Ragtag.
I had to book his flight the other day. That was awkward. All right, we're gonna go inside and we're thirsty, so shout out to the crew. Cut! You're in the street!
Last time you were in that seat, I asked you, have you heard of Will Ball Pursuit?
Scotty doesn't know.
Go! Take your sips.
How does the game change as you age? Bob Long's quote, heart never dies, but the body does. That's how things change as you get older. How do you stay relevant? That's easy. Promoting yourself by promoting your sponsors, for fuck's sake. Ask not what paintball can do for you, but what you can do for paintball. That's how you stay relevant, man. You express and you, what's the word? Damn it.
Take a drink.
Yeah, good call. No, it's right there. You project the things you like. People should know what you do. Like I'm never not wearing a Dye hat or shirt for the most part, or a paintball shirt. I did just sell a bunch of Ironman shirts because screw those guys. I'm not gonna wear those shirts anymore. So I'm always projecting the thing that I do, and so that's how you stay relevant. My dream would be to have won that last Powerball lottery and to build my own team, and then I could coach. That's would be my dream. Everyone would benefit from having me as a coach. Kyle Nicolau's calling me. Kyle, woo! Can you hear me? I can hear you. So you and Keith just talked to Billy. I'll give Billy credit here. He at least opened it up for an argument, right? We can rebut him on what he said. And he takes that into account, in all fairness.
Yeah, blah, blah, blah.
I like how, Keith, you say blah, blah, blah. Kyle, you say yada, yada, yada.
Are you trying to still be a good teammate to these guys on the phone, even though you're not a teammate?
I'm just trying to be like, hey, look, this is what I would be saying. This is how I feel about it. And I can say that because I've been doing this for a while and I've been cut and I've been in situations where I've had to try to kind of negotiate what I wanted to get. And I want something concrete. I don't want to have to worry about being cut or who I'm playing with throughout the course of the year. Like that's always back there in your mind, especially when you're having the worst season ever, when you win only 3 games in the pro division. It's easy for those thoughts to creep up. And then, for someone to say the axe is always sharp, talk the talk, walk the walk, cut people. And so that's where they're at, and it sucks. The Ironmen, when I joined the team, had contracts. CeeLo signed a contract, Peyton Tabata signed a contract, Corey Hall signed, everyone on the team signed a contract. I talked with Chris about signing a contract and like, hey, we'll work it up, but I never got one. And my joke was, right after we won the Vegas event and he was in the pit, I turned around and said, hey, I guess we're gonna have to renegotiate that contract because we just won, but I never got one. And I'll give it to Dai's credit. I think they were at least one of the last businesses, structures, organizations that actually did contracts. But to Dai's credit, they lived up to their end of the bargain on their contracts. When COVID happened, they gave every player everything that they were supposed to, even though we only played 2 events out of the 5 that year. So like, that's huge. Even the verbal agreements they had with players the next year, they still gave people more than was initially agreed upon. Choose Dai. What just happened? Dude, jeepers creepers, Vern. Take a drink.
We got one more from Soupy.
My question to Soup is, what type of soup is he? Cream of broccoli, dumpling, Italian, wedding soup? What is he? What soup are you? Will ball for soup? Like, where does the name come from?
Has Todd Adamson reached out to you? Blah, 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 blah. Are you playing for fucking Aftershock or what?
I don't know. I'm not on the team. No one's on the team.
Yeah, so how can you get on there?
You show up to San Antonio in a couple weeks.
Did you get an invite?
I was told that if I wanted to have an opportunity to be part of the team, I needed to buy a flight to San Antonio.
Do you have any intentions of doing so?
I purchased my flight. I'll be in San Antonio in 3 weeks. Holy wings, Batman.
Let's fucking go.
I've never really tried out for a pro team. I just got asked to play for Shock and then went to Heat and didn't have to try out for Heat. Then went to 187, then went back to Aftershock, then went to X Factor, and went to the Ironman. So there was no tryout.
What you got there, bud?
We got these chicken tenders.
Why are they chicken tenders?
Boneless wings aren't wings. A wing has got a bone in it. Dylan, did they give you the option to get regular wings, or is this it?
They did.
Well, you can YouTube videos of how these are made. People might frown on me because I'm dipping it. I don't even know what this flavor is.
You are. Your taste testing your wing with ranch on it. It's gonna taste like ranch.
I don't put ranch in my wing. I mean, it's good. It's got a solid fry and the meat's tender. Hashtag choose Dai.
That needs ranch. Buffalo required.
What's ew?
How many times have your kids been like, no, Daddy Nick Slowiak, I'd actually rather have blue cheese with my chicken tendies?
I don't have any dressings in my house.
Nick Slowiak, how do we think the Ironmen are going to do in 2024?
I will say this to the fans. I do appreciate all the people that have given their support, at least showing that they acknowledge that a change has to happen somewhere. Whether it's in the right spot or not, that's to be determined. Ryan Greenspan touched on this recently where Notorious lost some people, so they're going to be in a tough spot. Level was sold to Todd Adamson. No one knows who's on that team or what condition they'll be in. Paintball Fit just came in. No one knows how well they'll do. Blast Camp bought a spot and no one knows how well they'll do. Now NRG and the Bears have merged. So that's what, 6 teams? That's over 25% of the league that's kind of new and gone through a lot of turbulence. So there's a lot of questions that have to be answered. The cynical part of me would like to be like, yeah, I think they're fucked. And I wish them nothing but the worst. It's just really time will tell. No harm, no foul. I'm not losing sleep over it. It is a weeknight, so unfortunately the bar is closing. We have to bid you adieu. Closing time. So no matter what you put your heart to or put effort in, one of the best ways to do that is to learn when you're at your lowest point, when you've been let go or told you're no longer a part of something. And that's where you fight or flight. When you want to choose to pursue that and get better, or you want to give up. And I would encourage everyone to never give up. Don't let your emotions get the best of you. Try to keep a cool, level head and attack and choose Dai. There's heat in that last week. It's really getting me. Good night.
I don't know how long you guys are going to be here, but at 9 we start our open mic and open jams.
Yeah, I think it's time that I come out as a country artist. Been waiting on this moment my whole life.
I need a couple more of these.
Don't you I'm not ready for trivia yet. I thought that's why